asking for a lot, am I? No, you can complain and cry and get mad about this and act like a victim all you want. But the thing is, I'm not going to stop doing it. I don't give a fuck. You cry all you want. It fucking makes it funnier for me. And so anyway, one clip is canceling? Nah, bro, like everybody hates this. And the reason why, I'll tell you the reason why, is because she leads cancel campaigns against another person. So this dumb bitch goes and starts leading a massive cancel campaign on Kirsche, saying how she's a racist, a Nazi, trying to get her sponsors taken away. And then I call her out, and I don't even say a whole lot. I just play her own clip of her saying it. I'm not gonna go and play these gender games. I don't give a fuck about that. You a man, you a woman, you neither. You a retard.
In today's video, I tell the tragic ongoing tale of NyaraVT, a trans activist VTuber that, in my opinion, started the hate campaign that would eventually lead to the anti-valence harassment against Kirsche. I also go through some of their backstory that led to them becoming trans and how they became the next Perpetual victim. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it, and please make sure you enjoy the video. This individual, I think, is either scared of me or trying to ignore me now because I kind of BTFO'd them in the past. The individual of question is NyaraVT. This definitely won't do anything for me when I try to say that I'm not a transphobic individual, because I'm not. I'm definitely not transphobic. I am phobic of idiots and retards. And Nyara, even though they are trans, they are also being retarded and stupid and not learning to shut the fuck up. So, let's give a brief timeline here of Nyara. Nyara is a trans VTuber who has, as of more recently, and here, I'm going to pull up their channel here. I'm going to pull up their channel for you guys to see. As of more recently, and by as of more recently, I mean literally most of their channel's existence, period, here. But their entire channel, for the most part, consists of them being an advocate or arguing about trans issues on the internet. I will say, again, I am completely fine with trans individuals. Brief history about me. I used to have gender dysphoria when I was a teenager. I attended therapy, and we figured out that me deciding to change some bits and bobs of my body was a bad thing to do. So I have a lot of sympathy for trans individuals because I do believe that for some of them it is an AGP thing, and for some of them it is a weird fetish that is kind of detrimental and scary to think about. But for some of them, there's like some mental things that they have got to work through, and transitioning might be the best change for them. But there is also, and this is kind of like a third category as well, there are also individuals where transitioning is actually like something that they should do because it assists them in their life. And this is actually an individual there's a subgroup of individuals on the internet that have not weird body, excuse me, that sounds extremely bigoted of me, but there is a subsection of the internet where they are called what is known as like true intersex, where they've got a little bit of both sexes, and they are the true in between, basically. And so they are the people that definitely should transition from into one way, because for some of them it would help save their lives, because some of those people don't live very long, and some of those people definitely need that kind of help. For me, I am not quite sure where Nyara lands. I am kind of leaning towards Nyara being hyper AGP, AGP. And the reason why I think that is particularly because of how they decided to discuss something during my talk with them. Because I did have a live stream with them, and I have decided retroactively that I am going to cut up this stream and turn it into a video for people to watch, because a lot of people are talking about Nyara now. And when I've previously said I don't want to talk about Nyara because I feel like, one, it gives them a platform to grow, and two, I just feel like Nyara should be left to fuck alone and nobody should talk about them. I have changed my mind. I've done a 180 completely. And the reason why, if you want to know why I've decided to do a 180, chat, do you want to know why? It's because they won't shut the fuck up. They will not shut the fuck up. All right. All right, listen. This is okay. So we have gone back. So, brief history. I first knew about them because they tried to cancel Kirsche because Kirsche got her. I almost said advanced GG. Advanced GG slash MommaOcco 10, by the way. But she tried to cancel Kirsche from her drink deal because Kirsche was getting quite a big thing. I observed that Nyara was trying to cancel Kirsche and was doing a very, very harsh a cancellation attempts, and I was like, we should talk about this. But at the same time, I also wanted to talk to them because they had brought up, hey, you had gender dysphoria, can we talk about this? And I was like, sure, whatever, why not? And that's what ended up happening. So we had a stream where we talked about that. However, what was going to be a simple talk or a simple conversation between each other, it turned into both of us arguing about Kirsche and then arguing about other things. And it's just like, what's funny is a lot of people were like, oh, you should have expected this. And it was like, I did expect this. I did, like, listen, I did 2 to 3 days of prep work before I even decided to sit down with Nyara. I listened to a bunch of their videos. I wrote down notes about what they said and what they thought. And when I got to the table with them, I knew that if they wanted to bring up stuff, I was ready for it. And I felt like I did a decent job. People said that I did a decent job, and hey, great, congratulations. I felt like it went well. So we had that talk. It went through, and it was interesting. After that talk, and after they kind of burned the bridge with me, I was like, I really don't want to talk about them. However, in between then and now, because like, hold on, when did this happen? This stream was March 26th. Ever since then and now, they have continued to tweet. By the way, I thought about going back in Twitter all the way back down to that. I can't. I thought I would try. I can't. Do you want to know why? All right. So this is, we're on May 15th. All right. This is where I decided to stop scrolling, chat. We're going to show you all of their posts. Oh gosh, it won't show them all at a time. We're going to scroll slowly. That was May 15th, chat. Now, I know I sometimes tweet a lot as well. Sometimes I tweet 5 to 10 times a day. I try not to do it that much because tweeting that much is really just kind of... Unless, like, tweeting is your life, which for some people, I guess it is. And I guess maybe it is for Nyara. It's not mine. But it really depends. But this is... Look, this... We've been scrolling for a while. We've only made it 2 days. By the way, I made sure that there's no porn on their account, so I shouldn't scroll over any of that. We've only scrolled 2 days. How much further? How much further? We've only gone up 1 day. Oh my gosh. Look at it. It just keeps going and going and going. You can see the little scroll bar over here. It's going. It's going. It's going. We're like in an elevator. We're going up 100 floors and bam. Holy fucking shit. And it's just like, they won't stop tweeting. They won't stop saying things. They won't stop putting their foot in their mouth. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of seeing it. Like, just look at this. Look at this. Occo is a V-tweeter? No, I promise I'm not. I make content. Yeah, unlike a lot of people, I make... Now, to be fair, Nyara also makes content, but a lot of their content is literally just them taking their rants from stream. Now, to be fair, I do that as well. They take a lot of their rants from streams, okay? Most of it responding to other people. And then they just make it into a video. And guess what happens? They make a where is it? One of their the video that like really put them on the map was one where they're talking about transitioning in kids. It was before this one here. I think it was this one. I think it might have been this one. They changed the thumbnail, by the way, because a lot of people were getting on them for it. They make a video and it goes it goes viral. And then guess what? They make a video saying that Rev hates them. And then they all of their channel is just responding for the most part to other people getting upset. Like even more recently, their most recent videos, their four most recent videos is talking about Kirsche. They're talking about Tectone. They're talking about the asmongold twice, by the way. And a lot of their I'm not going to say all of them. A lot of their videos is just them responding to the drama that they get into on Twitter. A lot of Nyara's content on YouTube is literally just responding to content. And guess what? It's working. Somewhat it's working. Kind of, because, you know, Asmongold is in here. And it's... I don't understand. Like, well, I do kind of understand. Excuse me. Let me reverse. Let me pop it, reverse it, and all that kind of stuff. I know why Nyara is doing this. Nyara will say that, like, they're doing this because they want to be a trans ally and they want to help children grow up so that children don't have to experience the hatred and bigotry that they did, and they want children to become the best version of themselves. I don't think that's actually why Nyara is doing this. I think Nyara is definitely clout chasing off of this. Nyara is definitely being inflammatory to try and get people's opinions and trying to share things on the internet. And you know, that's fine. That's fine, I guess, but it's just like all they are doing is burning and harming themselves even more. Like, there's even a tweet of them recently, and I wish I brought it up. This is one of the ones I didn't bring up. But, like, they have a tweet recently where they're like, I don't want to be a VTuber anymore. And it's just like, well, I can tell why you don't want to be a VTuber anymore. It's because you kept fucking up and talking and voicing yourself out there when you don't need to. And they're just like, I like this tweet right here's response. Nyara is a perpetual victim. Yes. Because here's how it works. Here's how the cycle works. Nyara will say something. Some people will criticize it. Nyara will say that they are being hurt or harmed. Bigger people will pick up on it and say, huh, that's interesting. I wonder what they have said in order to obtain this hatred. And then more people go after it. And then it's just a constant building thing where in the very beginning, they said something that's probably very minor and very dumb and very stupid. But because they kept talking, guess what? Now everybody knows who Nyara is. It has gotten to the point where Asmongold knows who the fuck Nyara is. Now, to be fair, if Asmongold knew who I was, that would be kind of cool, I guess. But if Asmongold knows who you are and you're Nyara, that's not good. Because guess what? So many fucking people have watched him talk about this. Like, here, we're gonna listen to this here. This clip from the Yeet account. By the way, go follow Yeet. Yeet's a great account, all right? I think they do a really good job with archival, and I really appreciate it, okay? But they say, Asmongold responds to Nyara accusing him of leading a harassment campaign. Just stay away from kids. Just stay away from kids. I agree.
You call it whatever you want. Just stay away from the kids.
Amen.
Just stop trying to groom kids.
Amen.
I'm not asking for a lot, am I? Damn, just stop doing that. And yeah, I don't know what this is. The person posted this themselves. I wouldn't be surprised. No, you can complain and cry and get mad about this and act like a victim all you want.
My apologies, you can't really see Asmongold.
The thing is, I'm not going to...
But I imagine that you can see it, though.
Stop doing it. I don't give
Or I imagine that the point is getting clear.
Fuck, you cry all you want. It fucking makes it funnier for me.
It's very accurate. Yes, you keep complaining, it's gonna get funnier. People are gonna continue to laugh at you. Like, I don't understand how this is so hard to understand. Like Cameron, I don't think Nyara understands that the more that they've put themselves out there, the more that people are going to point and say, huh, that's really interesting. I wonder why they would say that. And guess what? They're going to look into you. They're going to continue to see what you've done. Like, legitimately, Nyara, all you have on your channel is just you complaining about shit. If I am a random Asmongold person, or to be fair, most random Asmongold fans probably won't look up your channel because they think that you're cringe and gross. But if I am a random Asmongold fan that actually looks into this and I look on your channel, what is the first thing I am going to see? A bunch of victimhoods. I almost said victim blame. That's not true. A bunch of victimization, saying that, oh, you are just being victim. Like, you're just like being a victim. Excuse me. And it's just like, this isn't content. In my personal, like, if I just sat all day and said, oh my gosh, all these people fucking hate me. Oh, these people hate me. And it's just I don't like it. I personally don't like if this is all your content is, this is pretty shitty content in my personal opinion. Sitting and complaining all day and then occasionally injecting your rants about transness. Now, one thing I do need to bring up is why I think that Nyara is so pro-trans the kids. Some people think it's grooming. I'm not really, I am very hesitant to call things on that because, one, I don't want to get, they're in Germany, but I don't want to get sued for calling somebody something when there really isn't like a lot of critical proof for that. But I'm going to show you why I think that Nyara is so very invested in quote unquote transing the kids. And so I'm going to show this to you. This was on my stream. By the way, this is on my stream. My stream, by the way, that you should definitely watch. Oh, I also have the Medicare hat on back there as well. Look at that. That's really funny. This is, in my personal opinion, why Nyara wants to do that. Also, I've seen some people make the Klaus joke from American Dad. It's kind of funny. I don't watch American Dad, so I don't really get it, but I kind of see the joke. It's an iffy joke on my end, but you know what? I'm not the funniest person in the room, so you know you're allowed to think that my agreements or disagreements on it doesn't really matter. But it's whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen to this here. Go ahead.
I got late into puberty.
Okay.
And I had therefore more like feminine voice.
Okay.
To the point where I, kind of started like stressing out over it, and I was like, well, I don't want to be bullied, I don't want to be different, etc. Like, oh, it's apparently wrong for me to be a girl because people use it as an insult, so I'm just going to hide who I am and I'm going to pretend that I'm.
Now I will say, just stopping by the way, first off, thank you Sneaky Cats for the donations. I would like to say, chat, there is a deal of sympathy that I can hear or that I can feel for Nyara, because they are very perfectly illustrating that they had a shitty childhood, a very shitty childhood where they had parents that didn't care or bullied them. And I think they even mentioned that, where they were bullied for their confusion. And I understand that because again, as somebody who had gender dysphoria and went to therapy for it, I understand that confusion. I get that. 100% I get that. Because when you're a teenager, you're hormonal, you don't understand the world that's going around with you. You've got all these weird things that you're trying to work out. I can understand that. However, where me and Nyara differ is, instead of having parents that it sounds like didn't really care, I had parents that had the gumption to take me to therapy. And we had to talk about why I felt like this, why I was going through this, why all these things were going through my head. And so I had in my personal opinion, direct opposite of Nyara, where Nyara had parents that it sounds like did not help them. I had parents that looked at me and said, I want to help you. I want to make sure that you know where you're going.
Just like my brother, for example.
Okay.
And that obviously didn't work, and it just made me like disassociate and make me feel numb.
Did you ever talk to anybody about this?
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't?
I didn't have anyone that I could trust, because like my parents bullied me for it too. My brother bullied me for it too.
Okay.
And I looked online,
Now this is where a very critical mistake was made. And again, I can not excuse, but have sympathy for the fact that Nyara didn't have a person to turn to in real life. Okay? Because they were pushed away by the people that they were supposed to depend on for a voice to talk through these things. Like no cap, legitimately, if Nyara had people to talk to, I don't think they would be trans today. I think that if Nyara had parents that cared and took them to therapy, they probably wouldn't be trans today. Probably not. I think that they would have ended up just like me. I'm a little weird. Sometimes I lay in bed at night and have to struggle with God a little bit about myself and liking myself. But I don't think they would have been, I don't think they would have gone trans today. I legitimately don't think so. But they had the opposite of what I had, which again makes me feel some sympathy for them, where they had parents and family that did not like or approve of how they felt, and they got bullied for it. And that really fucking sucks. And so where does Nyara turn to? Where do they turn to for their answers? The internet.
This is like 16 years ago.
Okay. By the way, this was a long time ago. So I understand that the resources back then were probably very vastly different, and people were vastly different. But interesting to point out there. 2009,
obviously
2008.
Yeah, basically, and like the research wasn't good on it, and also
I will say I don't think the research is still good now. I feel I'm pretty sure coming out now we have a lot of people saying that the research we have on gender transition with kids, I'm pretty sure we're starting to hear that that's a bad idea. I've started to hear that people are saying that it's a bad idea. I don't have any studies offhand. I've just been hearing a lot of people coming out and saying, by the way, the studies that people saying it did, they lied. So we still don't have good answers, in my personal opinion.
you know, I'm German, so I was like looking online, typing in German, like, why do I want to wake up as a girl? Why do I cry myself to sleep? Because I want to be a girl. And because there wasn't like education on it, I found like fetish forums.
So bad key typing, by the way. I don't think a kid really recognizes that when you type those kinds of words in, that is the result you're going to get. But they came to fetish websites. And fetish websites schooled them from that moment on.
Being like, oh, this like femboy, sissy type shit, you know? And it really kind of made me really uncomfortable to like talk about these things, because like I was 12. I didn't see what I was saying.
And by the way, they were 12. You want to talk about people that got online too fucking early? It's always the people that get on too fucking early. I swear to heaven and angels above, keep your fucking kids off the internet.
I didn't understand what I was seeing, and I basically I was really stressed out that like if I talk with someone about that, they're going to be like, yo, some sort of freak.
That's where their education came from. That's where they learned, or where they think they learned. I blame a mixture of bad parenting and them going on the internet way too fucking early to find answers. Yes, they found fetish websites when they were 12, and that gave them, that is the basis for in my personal opinion, that is the basis of where they ended up. Again, I think that if they had better parents, this wouldn't have happened. Would not have happened. Because, and I do think that in some small parts, you can blame a lack of parenting for some people. Because if they had real parents, parents that gave a shit, parents that cared, parents that were in their lives, we would have less Nyaras and maybe more people that gave a shit, that had a healthy relationship with life and a healthy relationship with themselves. No, I'm not going to say I'm perfect. Definitely not going to say I'm perfect. I still struggle with myself. Like I said, I still have struggles with God about that. But I think it's very funny for me to come to the same conclusion every single time, that I'm much more happier the way I am, even if I'm not perfect. So, but this is now their life. This is now their life, by the way. Now, what do they do? I already showed you how often they tweet, but now what do? They sit on Twitter, and occasionally they sit on stream all day, and they say that they're being oppressed, that they're being bullied, that they are being harmed. And it's just like, and I said this on Twitter, I was like, if you did not want to play the fucking game, if you didn't want to be in this space, if you didn't want all of the shit that comes with being a voice, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, Nyara? If you can't take the heat of having people that get reasonably upset when you ask for their kids to be forcibly transitioned, or to be transitioned in general, I don't know what you're supposed to expect. Like, especially now. especially when we, as an American society, as America, and to a smaller extent the rest of the world, the demographic is shifting. Your opinion, even though your opinions were probably more widely accepted back then, they're definitely not being accepted now, even in the EU. It is getting pushed back harder and harder. And unfortunately, I think it's going to get pushed back too far. Because again, I will say right now, I don't mind trans people. I don't mind trans individuals. I mind when they take it to the logical extreme that Nyara takes it. I don't like it because, and like I've said in the past, what Nyara does is they harm other trans individuals. I know that they say they feel hurt by that, but it's the truth, and I really don't care what you think. You hurt other trans individuals by doing this, because most of them don't give a shit. They grew up, they had their own struggles, they decided to do this, and they don't want you to speak for them. They don't want you to have this space, because it's extremely clear that you can't handle it and that you are burning yourself and others by your misuse. And it's extremely obvious that you either don't care or that you're doing this because it makes you money or because it gets you views. I don't know. I don't believe that you are doing this because you think that it is going to save other trans individuals. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you are doing this for the greater good of other people. I believe that you are doing this because it is self-serving for you to be looked at by asmongold, that other people will say, oh my gosh, look at that trans individual being harmed, I have to support them. Because that's definitely what's going to happen, or is happening. Excuse me. But, like, this is a grift. It's very clear and obvious. And I don't mind when people, like, grift a little bit, like, they get their bag and all that shit. But this right here is harming the people that you say you want to protect. I don't care if you are the 13,000th most watched Twitch channel. I don't care if the number 2 channel and the number 1929 most Twitch channel are both being critical of you. I don't care. You chose to be critical of them. You chose to point out and say that they're dumb. You literally chose to invoke life ruination on Kirsche. Something that almost worked in my personal opinion. Thank fuck it didn't. You know, I blame Nyara as the originator for all of the shit that was happening to Kirsche. I blame Nyara for that. Because Nyara was the first one to do it. And I think Bint followed afterwards, and then Anna Valens followed right after that. I blame Nyara for this specifically. And now that you are getting all of the heat that you rightfully deserved for aiming for life ruination, you are upset that you that you have to eat that. I don't feel bad for you. I really don't. I really don't. Maybe that's evil for me to say. But I don't feel a lick of sadness or pain for you. The only real good, by the way, that came out of this is that now you're seeing a lot of VTubers come out and tell the world where they stand. Because I've seen a lot of VTubers come out and say that they hate what Nyara has said and done. And Nyara is just another one of those individuals where they won't shut the fuck up. They're going to continue it. Now, it's for different reasons, but they're just not shutting up. Because they won't shut up. You fucked around, and now you're finding out what happens when you fucked around. People are going to mock you, and you are now just a punching bag for them. You are now just the funny thing for people to laugh at. And I don't feel sad for you. I don't feel sad. I really don't. So.